Hi, Ida here. Today I thought I'd make a video response on witching where I am. I came across this witching where you are over at She Who Walks Between the Worlds. He had made a video response about that. It was initially Palm Tree Bewitchery who did a video on it, and I thought it was interesting to hear what it's like to be a witch in other places, and I thought it could be fun to talk about what it's like being a witch here. So that's what I'll do. It is if I start to talk about the climate, I'm in the southeastern corner of Sweden basically, so we have as far as Sweden goes, we have a pretty mild climate, but it's of course a bit harsher than a lot of other places. It rains a lot, year round, really, except for when it snows. We don't get an awful lot of snow here. We're quite close to the coast, so it's, as I said, it's fairly mild. We have snow about 2 days, 2 weeks, I mean. A year, the rest of the year it rains. So it's, in terms of climate, it's not a great place to be a witch because it's not always nice to be outdoors. The winters are fairly cold. If you're unlucky, you can get minus 25 degrees centigrades. Not a Fahrenheit kind of girl. More often it's around 0, like plus minus a few degrees, but then it could be windy and rainy. And of course in the winters it gets dark. It's in the middle of the winter, it gets dark like around 3 o'clock here. Sorry, I got a hair in my eye and I can't be bothered to pause. But the summers, on the other hand, we have daylight a long time. I mean, the sun is just setting right now. It's been a lovely spring day. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before, but it has been. Now the sun is setting. It will be getting a bit chilly. I'm not really sure about the light out here on my balcony. But so that's the climate. We do the 4 seasons here. In the later years we have been noticing the effects of climate change. Last summer was extremely hot, extremely dry. The farmers were struggling. There were a lot of wildfires, much more than usual. So that's also a thing here. In terms of nature, the surroundings here, they're lovely. I have the forest around the corner. I have 2 lakes within a 3-minute walk. It takes me perhaps 40 minutes to walk to the sea. Faster if I take the bike. I don't drive. And we have freedom to roam, which means that I can walk around in nature pretty much wherever I want, whenever I want, without risk being face to face with some guy with a rifle telling me to get off his land. I can just walk, which is great. And I do a lot. I have a dog, so I spend a lot of time in nature. Usually at least 1 hour a day. And it's there are no real mountains here. It's hilly, but no mountains. And we have a lot of really witchy things around here, like in terms of plants and animals. We have fox, we have toad, we have ravens, hare, fly agaric, in the autumn. We have wormwood, we have all the witchy trees like oak, wild apple, rowan, elder, all that. I can just go out and be as witchy as I want. Just right here, I have a lovely oak. I'm not sure, maybe you can see it in the background. In that sense, it's a really great place to be a witch. And there's also, for me, witchcraft is also a lot about place and about connecting to the place and to the history. Maybe because I'm a history nerd, and this place is really interesting from that point of view too. Because there are a lot of ancient monuments here, from kists to Iron Age graves. I mean, the church is from the 12th century. That's pretty old. Even I, as a pagan, can appreciate the value, the historical value of building that's old. I mean, there's art in there that's several hundred years old. So it's really fascinating, and there's been continuity in people living here. They found stuff all the way from the Stone Age up until now, you know, through the Bronze Age and the Iron Age and Viking Age and the Middle Ages, and up until here, up until now, I mean. You know, there've been living people like right here. I walk for 10 minutes and there's an Iron Age, I think actually that's a Bronze Age grave, but you know, a really old thing, like right around the corner, which is lovely. What else can I say? In terms of other people, Sweden is one of the most secular countries in the world. So here, it doesn't really matter what religion or what spirituality you are. There is one exception, I'll come to that. But other than that, people don't really care. I can be as witchy as I will. I'll be considered a bit of a freak, you know, regardless what religion or spirituality I have. But I don't get any hate for being a witch, which I understand from people, especially from the US, can be a problem in other places. I don't have that here. I'm free to witch around as much as I like. This is a very small place, so there is a rather large minority of Muslim immigrants here, and they're the exception. They're the ones that get all the hate. There is a lot of racism here, and especially there's a lot of Islamophobia, and it bothers me. I feel very strongly. I feel that it has to do with being a witch, because I consider like all life forms of equally value, and that of course applies to all human beings too. So seeing the Islamophobia bothers me a lot. I have a hard time. I moved back here. I'm from here, but I moved back here about a year ago after having living in other places for a really long time, and I'm having a really hard time getting used to that. But there's no problem being a witch whatsoever. No one cares. I mean, they don't believe in anything and they just don't care. And that makes life easy for me here. It's easy to be a witch here. You know, nice and easy. I think that's about it. I wanted to say before I finish that I will put up some, you know, of my own content, because now I've only done the tag, get to know your witches, and now I'm doing a video response. So I just wanna say that there will be more things that I've come up with more on my own. So if you want to see that, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.